Jono signed on again for another couple of years. You must be pretty happy.
Yeah, for sure. Exciting times are happening down at Fremantle, so it's good to be part of it and to have another couple of years down at the club and with these up and coming players coming through, it's exciting. So I'm a Dockers supporter before I got here, and it looks like I'll probably finish my career here as well. So it's pretty stoked.
How sort of exciting is that for you to be a one club player and a WA bloke as well, that you've been able to play your whole career start to finish with Freo?
Yeah, I think it's a big thing for all AFL players. If they can last over 10 years and be a one club player, it's something special. And when I leave the club, hopefully in a few more years, I'll look back and just see the way that the club developed me as a player and as a person, and I can look back at it and a big part of my life. So hopefully finish my career here and
The club seems in a pretty good space on field and also off field, but is this the best the list has been in your time at the club? Obviously you look at what you're doing on field is amazing, and then even Peel, everyone's ready to go and still pushing for those spots. So is it the best that you've sort of seen in your time?
Yeah, for sure. It starts from the top with the staff and Steve Rossage, CEO, and Steve Harris, and then it just slowly filters down into the players and Matthew Pavlich and the playing group. So success is on the field, but you can see the amount of work the staff are doing away from the field, off the field. So like I said, it's the club's really strong at the moment, and we just got to keep working on the field to keep building and becoming a really, really strong club on and off the field. So.
Any other clubs have a crack?
There were a few clubs that approached my manager, but I was a unrestricted free agent at the end of the year, so there were a few clubs that put their hand in it. But I knew my manager was working really closely with Fremantle Footy Club, and we knew there was going to be a deal done soon. So, like I said, I'm stoked. The club's stoked, and my family's really happy as well.
John, you had a pretty serious back injury last year. Did you ever fear you wouldn't get back to full fitness from that?
It did go through my head, but I had faith in the medical staff and the specialists that we saw away from the club, and just it's the way they put it and told me that it was just up to us to build a rehab program that would take its time, but in the end, if you do everything, you'll come up on top. So I ticked every box after the surgery, and I was well ahead on schedule. So it's really good to get out there and play with the boys in the NAB Cup and the scratch matches, and it just slowly built from there, and I'm feeling really good at the moment.
Is it something you have to manage now, week to week?
Not really. I just keep ticking the boxes with the exercises I need to do for my back and make sure it's nice and strong leading into games. But it's just like every other player with their injuries. They have certain exercises they got to do each week, and I've got a lot of exercises that are around my back and sort of stuff. So. But I haven't looked back since, so I'm nice and strong, I'm moving well on the ground, so it hasn't slowed me down at all, and I think I'm playing really good footy at the moment.
There's a time when you're bloke at 30, you get a 1 year deal and another 1 year deal, and just keep on going that way, or get pensioned off basically. But it seems like all your older players are playing really good footy at the moment. What's changed in footy that's allowing that to happen?
I think it starts with the fitness staff, sports and conditioning guys that are working closely with the senior players and adjusting their pre-seasons and the load they do during the week leading into games. So that's a big factor in the senior players playing well at the moment. But then you look at your young guys that are coming through the ranks, and you draw strength from these young guys that are performing well on training track over pre-season and on game day. So I'm getting old, but I love running out there with the young guys because they help you find another life and more strength in that on game day.
So you're getting old, key position players. It's not easy playing one big body position. Do you need to be more mature and older these days to be able to handle that job week in, week out, do you feel?
Yeah, sort of. I just like playing on the best defenders in the game, and even if it's a younger guy, it's a challenge for myself, and I'm sure it's Pavlich, Sandilands, and Luke McFarlane. So we're here in the sport to play against these younger players, but as soon as you cross the white line, it's we're all equal, and whoever walks away on top wins, sort of thing. So I've never bring in age at all. I reckon I feel younger than a lot of the younger guys at the club.
You mentioned those younger guys like Lockie, Cam Sutcliffe, Matt Taberner. What have you made of their development this year? They're all playing some really good footy.
Yeah, so they've been around the mark for a couple of years now, which is good for us. And I remember Cam getting his opportunity when one of our backs went down with injury. I think it was 2013 year, and he hasn't looked back since. So for the young guys, as long as you do all the work and on and off the field, you'll be able to be rewarded with games, and if you get games, if you perform well, there's a bonus to stick in and stay in the team. So we have a lot of young guys that are coming through that ranks, and Bella's missed out on the weekend's game, and Hayden Crosby gets his chance. So that's the strength of the club at the moment, and whoever comes in the side hopefully performs for the team, and it'll be tough being one of those players outside the team to try and squeeze back in at the moment.
You've been a mentor for a lot of young guys. Is that the message to the young blokes of the club, to be just very professional and diligent with their preparation week in, week out, to make sure they get the best out of themselves? Yeah,
it is for sure. When you come into a club, you actually get given a mentor, and you sit there and learn a few things off them. And one big thing I've learned over the years is that it's the little things when it comes to rehab, and ticking all those boxes to get yourself up week in, week out, because you start feeling it when you get a little bit older. But to see these guys driving the team at the moment, the younger guys, and like I said, it's fantastic to be around at the moment, and they're the ones that are standing up and driving the group.
Who are the guys you're mentoring at the moment?
So I look after mainly the Indigenous boys, and but to see other backmen, Cam Sutcliffe and Tommy Sheridan were down there before he got injured, and to see them perform for the team and become really strong players, and not only pretty much cementing their spot in the team. It's fantastic.
How's Ryan going? You've played obviously a lot of footy with him. How's he been travelling over the last couple of weeks, given what's coming up?
He's been very positive. It's something that we don't need to talk to him about around the club. He's got his people to talk to about the situation, but he's been fantastic for a number of players, and Clancy Pearce is one of them. So he's actually mentoring Clancy because of the tag and roll, and that's what we need. We need these senior players mentoring these younger guys, so then when we do move on, these guys can step up and perform for the club. So it's fantastic to see Ryan take on that role and deliver it. So another big job for if someone does tag this week. Hopefully Ryan can help them out and get them through.
Sydney Saturday night, Jono, how do you stop Buddy Franklin? Does it need a big effort from the whole back foot?
Oh, it is. It's not left to one player, and myself or Luke will be playing on him. But if we can play the way that we played on the weekend against the Eagles, and don't let the ball come in defence, it'll make our job easier. But even when the ball did come down our way, we had a lot of support from the midfield and forward. So as long as they get back and help, we should be fine.
What if he goes to the wing like he did late in the game in the final last year? You had control of him, and then he moves up the ground and he becomes a late goal. So what do you think he'd have to do differently this time if he pushes up to find some space?
In the final?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play that game, so he did get on top of a couple of our players, but we'll be prepared for it. We know that he's a quality player, and if he does work up the ground, we know that he's bursting back forwards and trying to disrupt our defence. So we'll have our meetings later in the year, later in the week to combat that. And but he's not the only good player in their team. They got a quality side. They played the grand final last year, so there's a number of players that we got to watch on Saturday night.
Is his ability to play forward or push up, is that one of the harder parts about trying to stop him, because he can go to so many places?
I think it's just smart positioning by the opposition that if he does push us up, I'll try and attack him the best I can. But yeah, hopefully he doesn't push too far up, and we can just turn the ball over and keep going forward. So wait and see what happens.
The assignment of having Buddy and Kurt Tippett, obviously yourself and Mac will probably go to those, but where does that assignment lie in terms of your biggest task of the year? Is that up there, those two power forwards?
Yeah, it could be. I played on Hawkins a couple of weeks ago, which was a big test. But I wouldn't mind Alex Sabani and Zach Dawson back at the moment. But no, it's in the past I played on the big players, so yeah, it's another test for myself and Luke this week. And like I said, it'd be good to get the mids and the other backs rolling off and supporting us. But yeah, we'll just wait and see who matches up on who. But we've been working really hard this year on their key forwards and the best way to combat it, and it's actually worked at the moment. But we know it's going to be a big test against those guys, so yeah, can't wait.
Must be stoked with how few goals all the key forwards kicked against you guys this year. Confidence must be really high.
Oh yeah, it always is. It's as long as we keep them down and stop their scoring and we're kicking goals up their end, it makes our job easier. So like I said, that these guys have been working really hard over pre-season and through the NAB Cup, Tibbet and Franklin. So yeah, I just can't wait to get out there and play against them, because you want to match up the best, the forwards in the game, and they're superstars. So yeah.
Do you actually get excited about a big game like this? Two undefeated teams head to head.
Oh yeah, it's a big. For myself, I usually see it as another game, but I reckon the supporters will be out there, will be loving it, and Saturday night it's a big night, and so yeah, to play against these guys, it's a big test, and they've been a quality side for a couple of weeks now, and yeah, who would have thought 3-0 both teams going into round 4 and matching up against each other. So it's going to be exciting for the footy public.